Hello, I just wanted to include a video just to kind of address a few things along with my Prezi. Thank you for taking the time to view it. As far as assessments and tools that I feel like have kind of confirmed my call as a counselor, like the IDEAS test that we took, the Kuder, Kuder, sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, the Strong's inventory, any of the personality tests that we've done so far throughout the program, all of those show my personality. I'm more introverted than I am extroverted, and always any of them show caregiving, you know, just wanting to help others, service, social, things like that. So I just feel, while every single one of them haven't pointed straight to counseling, but, you know, helping others and service and things like that. So it kind of, you know, all the things that I've done, even working like fast food, well, I didn't work fast food, but I guess even working at Walmart and Blockbuster and things like that, you know, as I'm doing this, noticing that those are, you know, customer service jobs, helping others, even though it's in that sense. So at the hospital, things like that. I do, which I thought was kind of interesting, whenever I did the IDEAS, I, you know, scored high for administrative also, because I do find the tediousness, you know, the repetitiveness of things like that, filing paperwork, doing like office administration stuff. I find all of that stuff interesting as well. So I like, you know, both sides of that. But I kind of feel like those assessments have kind of confirmed my call. And then cultural background, I kind of feel like that the way that I was raised and my home life, I don't know, I just always, like I said earlier, I just wanted to protect my brothers and, you know, just wanted to help. And my mom even told me when my youngest brother was born, I sat down in the chair and said, okay, hand me my baby. You know, so I've just always wanted to be doing things like that. I feel more person-centered as far as counseling goes. I kind of take that approach with clients. I use cognitive, you know, behavioral, because I think from where I work right now, that's how I have to, you know, that's what works best with addicts is, you know, cognitive and behavioral changes and things like that. And so I think I kind of relate to that as well and can apply that in other counseling settings. Again, my personal history, I think, kind of just has always, I can remember as a child I wanted to be a teacher, a pediatrician, or a veterinarian, and just always wanting to help. I decided against pediatrician because you had to go to school for a long time. Same thing with veterinarian. I think I told my mom once I don't think I could hurt kids and dogs, so I didn't want to do it. But being a teacher, you know, was always interesting to me as well. So I just think like helping people has just always been kind of like ingrained in me. Maybe that's just how God created me, to want to help and serve others, and I think that's kind of a cool thing. I also want to integrate my Christian faith into counseling. You know, just kind of when it's appropriate, be able to talk with clients about faith and beliefs, but also I want to pray before sessions, and I want to invite the Holy Spirit into those sessions. And, you know, even if a client doesn't believe, that's something that I can do between me and God. And I just always want to have Him with me everywhere that I go. I don't want to be one way at church and one way in a session. I want to always be Christ-like no matter what, and treat people with respect that they deserve. The other thing that I realized through this is I've learned 3 things about myself. The first is I listen to others too much. I shared that I went into nursing school. That all came from my husband and friends, because I was working at a doctor's office. I was catching on to what they were teaching me. that kind of thing. The money's really good is what they kept saying. Sean, my husband's name is Sean. Sean's going to be a pastor and you can make the money to help him out. And I never really wanted to just go into nursing school, but I just did it anyway. And now that I think about it, God was really shutting those doors to get into nursing school, and I kept pushing it. And I feel like he kind of said, okay, here you go. If you're going to keep pushing the issue, fine, go in. And I did, and spent a year there, and then moved, and none of it would transfer. So it was kind of like, you know, it's not what he wanted me to do. The second thing is I never got certified. So I learned to do all these nursing skills working in a doctor's office. But again, I didn't finish school. I wasn't an LPN. I didn't get my RN. I didn't get certified in anything. I worked just, you know, under this doctor that was showing me how to do things. Probably a gray area and not the best thing now that I think back on it. And then the other thing is I worked in a lab and I drew blood and I was taught on the job. And a lot of people they were taught on the job. You could receive like a little certificate there for being trained on the job. But as far as being licensed, there's like an 8-week course you could go through. Or it might be longer than that. Maybe it was 6 months, sorry. But at any rate, there was a certification that you can go through and continue, and you get licensed to do it. And I didn't do those things. And so now I moved to another state and I'm not able to do that. And so, you know, I can say I have the skills, but I don't have anything to prove it. And then the other is that I've realized through doing this is that I can do things. I feel like growing up, my parents told me there's things I couldn't do, and I listened to them. And I think I've learned that I can do things if I put my mind to it, and God has blessed me with things, with talents, with, you know, that's pretty big for me to say about myself, but it's true, and I think I've realized that. As far as constructing a plan for clients, you know, like to help them with their future goals, I would just encourage them initially to look at their likes, their interests, their dislikes, their strengths, their weaknesses. Take some of these assessments, you know, and just to take it seriously. Do what they want to do. I mean, they should take their family into consideration and, you know, look at the big picture, but ultimately get certified in things. If they get trained, you know, get the certification for it, but believe in themselves. And if they enjoy something and assessments continue to validate that, then maybe that's the path to go. You know, kids leaving high school and going to college and entering careers that later they don't even want to do because they just jumped into something because of money. You know, so just encouraging them to set some goals and to maybe look at the future, look at what, you know, prospects, how much money are they going to make? Is that an issue for them? You know, just kind of like look at the big picture. So I think I'm about out of time, but thank you very much for watching my presentation and listening to my vocational autobiography.